Okay, hello and welcome. My name is Martin, and today what we're going to be looking at is how to create dynamic enemies by manipulating three things that control meshes. The first thing would be collision settings, the second thing would be a navigation mesh, and then the third thing would be the blueprint. So what a collision setting is basically how that mesh is going to interact with the environment and how it will identify itself in the environment, plus um, how by identifying itself it's going to interact with other meshes that are labeled as different things. So if we look at some of these, we can see that I'm able to move the meshes by running into them or by shooting them with my projectile. In the second set of meshes, the projectiles do not move, but they do block my projectiles, and they also block me, which allows me to be able to walk on them. You can see that the third set here has actually fallen through the floor. There was originally a set of things here, and we have this on ignore everything. So basically, because it ignored everything, it fell right, or it allowed for overlapping of everything, it fell right through the floor. The second set right here, we can see that it is blocking my projectiles, but it is allowing me to go through it. We can look at this next set, and we can see that this is allowing both my projectiles and myself to go through, and so you get the idea. We'll actually look at this more in depth, but collision settings basically allow for different situations to happen, so then that way different criteria might be met. So a little bit further down here, we actually start with proper enemies. So this first set right here is going to be what I like to call the stationary mine. And basically what we've done here is this is the first blueprint. This does not need a navigation mesh, but it does need a blueprint. So unlike any of the other ones that I've hit so far, those things do not explode. They do have the ability to be able to move around, but they are not exploding. So let me walk over this one. You can see that both me touching it and me hitting it with the projectile causes it to explode. Now let's look at the next set. The next set is going to be these right here. Now these guys are exploding. So they are coming towards me and they are exploding, and they are also regenerating themselves. Now that was something down there that shot that. So I can both be hit by it and also allow it to be hit by a projectile. So this is those techniques right there. So that is being done through blueprints, a navigational mesh, and through the AI moving. And actually, both of these are considered pawns. So we'll see that in building these enemies. Now this enemy right here is actually the first enemy that we have that is built as a character, and we have this as a moving enemy. So basically what it is doing, it is using AI pawn sensing to be able to figure out where I am, and as long as I am inside the navigational mesh, it will start moving towards me. Okay, and the next one is doing the same thing. Okay, so we have it using pawn sensing and moving towards us, but we also have it, if you can see, its top, well, let me move somewhere where I can actually see what's going on. So we can get this person to follow us. There we go. And maybe you can see now that it is generating a projectile out of its left hand. And the next one down here is also creating a projectile, but it is rotating as opposed to moving towards us. So we get different types of movement. Let's try to get out of here. See if we can make it through. And we can get respawn. So the way these things are working, it's actually a combination of a lot of different things: collision settings, navigational meshes, and blueprints that will allow us to be able to create different and dynamic moving enemies. So starting with this project series, we'll take a look first at collision settings, then we'll look at how to create a navigational mesh, and also how to use blueprints within that navigational mesh to program different types of AI. So then that way they do different things. Hope this helps explain a little bit what the further projects are going to look like, and hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.